Hi Libra, here's a general look at your solar chart for September 2012, but before I get to that, I suppose the headline news has got to be that this is the last full month of the Saturn transit in your sign. Saturn spends about 2.5 years in each sign of the zodiac, and it comes around once every 28 to 29 years, so it's been your turn, Libra, for the past nearly 2.5 years now. And Saturn's job to test us by throwing a spanner in the works, in fact a series of spanners in the works that can affect health, relationships, the job, where you live. It's just across the board really, and it's to make us stronger. It really is. And many of you now will have been through several challenges and able to kind of look over your shoulder and say, right, okay, I did it. I was strong enough to do it. And it is actually ultimately a great teacher, and it teaches you how to believe in your own strength, your own true grit. So well done to you, many, many times. Well done. Respect. Now, for this month, until the 23rd, the energies could manifest as more of a pull towards things going on behind the scenes. In your private life, within you, sort of with your feelings. Perhaps it's something from the past as well. Some of you could be reviewing the past, or perhaps it's something external, that's on the drawing board, and it needs your ongoing attention, care, and work. So you've got to beaver away at this thing as a sort of form of preparation in the background, or you are pulling the strings on something from the background. It's quite a low-key area that the Sun is in till the 23rd. It's also a karmic house, so you might be dealing with processing a lot of stuff, and perhaps not realizing how many levels you're working on all at the same time, Libra. And that's until the end of the third week, or just after the end of the third week of September. But on the plus side, and there's plenty of pluses here, your imagination can be working very well, your intuition can be working very well, and you will be well advised to listen to your dreams or your sort of gut hunches, and don't miss sort of an omen or a sign, because those sorts of things can be clearer to you at the moment. But also it stirs up the emotions, and there can be a lot going on inside you, turbulence going on inside of you, which kind of is white noise and blocks you from your intuition, because your intuitional feeling is not the same as your emotional feeling. So if you can calm down the noise with the emotions, and don't let a passing mood or provoke a knee-jerk response or a knee-jerk decision, that wouldn't be good. Although sometimes we get lucky, and even the knee-jerk decisions are okay, and we land on our feet. But there could be more going on inside you than others realize. And then that's even more of a sort of pressure as well, because you can't let on. There's a sort of a secrecy about this too, and you're having to put on the brave face. If it's like that, it's probably not going to be like that really, except for maybe later Librans who've still got Saturn there, the sort of the remnants of the Saturn energy, just going through the last little bit of Libra over September and on into very early October. So just sleep on something before you decide how to proceed, and it's in fact a very good time for you to get more sleep, or just put your feet up a little bit more, chill out a bit more during this time here with the Sun in this very background area of your solar chart. But having said that, it just could also be that sod's law, you've got to put yourself out more at the moment. Others are leaning on you for some reason at the moment, and so therefore this house is also about compassion, nurture, higher service, and you've got to make the space in your life for others to lean on you, but also I would advise you to make extra certain that you make space in your life that of protection of yourself, putting the boundary around yourself, and do that, time that as and when you can, but make an extra special effort to do it. This is also a very good time for you to mention nurture, is to get some of that for you, get that massage, whatever it is, and go for that healing therapy, whatever that's about. Or maybe it's not like that, maybe it's that you just want to go into some escapist activity, which hopefully will be a healthy one, because this is also the area of escape. So just sort of put your feet up and let others take the strain whenever you can. And things will kind of work through, but also things come up from the subconscious. And some of you very artistic Librans can use this energy very well for artistic work and anything to do with using the material from the unconscious. Also, it's great for spiritual practices and healing and psychic development. Also, Mercury is underpinning the position of the Sun until the 17th. Mercury is working from quite deep levels in your subconscious. You can be more introspective at this time. You're putting more mental energy out behind the scenes, but also in your inner world, and your emotions stirred up, but also being more aware of, as I said earlier, subtle energies, and your intuition working very well. But you're kind of sort of wandering, maybe vacillating, sort of dithering, which is a kind of Libra thing anyway, but there's a real uncertainty going on within you, probably up until the 17th. Don't worry, Mercury is not retrograde, so it's not going to be as bad as it might be if Mercury was retrograde, but it's just this feeling of not having enough information, maybe, or not quite knowing what the left hand is doing, or if you're the right hand, or the other way around, just wondering this or that thing, a bit like the butterfly sort of pivoting on the wire there. And at this time you need to trust your gut knowing, have faith and trust. And there's a power in that. There's a huge power in that. Also, put things around you which are going to keep your morale up if you need it. As I say, it might not be anything like that for you, but I'm just putting this out there for those that may be able to relate to this. But also, emotions are sensitized, and certain triggers can push your buttons more easily. And again, you engage. Well, you don't engage brain before mouth, or taking action. So just be aware that this kind of thing could be happening, and you're going to be a little bit preoccupied with things, and maybe not quite there, sort of zoning out, and being in a place introspectively within you. But just listen to your inner guidance, trust, and it'll be okay, because this is your time for learning how to be strong and finding your own way back to your balance, your happiness and well-being. Now, from the 17th, Mercury enters your sign, and this means very, very different. You'll have more on your mind, and there will be a lot more socializing probably going on. But if there has been uncertainty or confusion in the time before, from the beginning of the month until the 17th, during that time there, then with Mercury in your sign, things will start to crystallize, and you'll be very mentally alert. You'll be more able to know, to understand and know the information, or the not. You'll be able to join up the dots more, but you can get a bit frayed around the edges. You can get a bit frazzled with maybe a lot going on in your head, or maybe having to dash here or there, or maybe it's over the net, or with correspondence, paperwork, and the like. But you just do need to be able to clarify your thoughts and then actually express those thoughts and intentions in the clearest and most articulate way you can. And actually Mercury in your sign is going to help you to do that, but also accurately. And until the 7th, your ruling planet, Venus, remains in an area where authority figures, parents or guardians, will tend to see you in a good light. And that's been going on since early-ish in August. And there could be an ally or somebody that you feel very, very close to, who is invaluable to your success, who's going to facilitate you in some sort of a way, however that is. And someone could be playing a supporting role to your making the right move at the right time, and impressing the right sort of people. And you yourself also could be the one, with Venus here, who takes a firm, decisive but friendly hand and gives others a benefit of a recommendation, or just a sort of a boost in some way, and helps them with their success. And then from the 7th, friends and acquaintances are very well starred and could support you as you move forwards with something that you've had close to your heart, maybe for a long time previously. So it's a very nice place for Venus to be. She's in a very friendly, sociable mood here, but it's also about furthering your ambitions and your hopes and your aspirations and your dreams. So it's a good time to take steps in that direction. And you probably will feel that you're being supported by others, whether they know it or not, really, in getting towards this goal, this target, and also very well starred at this time of group gatherings, team efforts, where you get together with others, in this very sort of intimate, friendly, warm kind of a way, and it's benefiting you. It'll help further your goals. Contacts new and old, and group gatherings can also be rather unconventional, rather unusual, interesting though, and get you thinking along new, sort of fresh lines of thought. But also these sorts of gatherings, or working in a maybe unusual kind of a way, can be materially beneficial. In an innovative kind of way, can be materially beneficial, and you also could be viewed by others as the friend or colleague whose contribution has been invaluable to their progress, you see, as well. So it's a very nice place for your ruling planet to be. Jupiter will continue to expand you into new intellectual areas or physical territories over several months. That's up until next June. So your horizons are going to be broadening in new and unusual sorts of ways. And you will encounter people or environments which are alien to you, hitherto alien to you, but which will put you on a learning curve, teach you an awful lot. Some of you could even be in some sort of academic kind of environment where your mind is opening to new realities. Or maybe it's not like that. Maybe it's informal teaching where you're learning by doing something. So it's like learning something new every day. But over those many months, you will add to your knowledge base greatly, and be more experienced and wiser, and therefore also there to help others. And just on that point, you could be seen by others as the teacher, the mentor, the guide. Somebody or others will be coming to you and asking you for your advice over these many months that Jupiter will be here. Mars is demanding that you put effort into getting organized in very material ways, Libra. Working harder, looking at incomings and outgoings, working harder to maintain the piggy bank, seeing what assets you might have, looking at how to capitalize upon assets, getting your hands on certain things, or just learning how to use certain things or make the most of certain things. Or maybe it's something bigger than that. Maybe it's an ongoing project that just needs your effort and your it's a very physical planet, Mars, so it can tire you out, how much effort you're putting into something. So just be aware of that. This area is also kind of linked to physical well-being, so don't spread yourself too thin in your striving towards bettering things on this very sort of materialistic level, whether it's to do with money or possessions or property. So don't overstretch yourself physically, but also overreach resources, which you might do here. Mars tends to make us rather impatient or hasty, so you might make a snap decision and be a little bit impulsive, which you don't want to be in this house of your solar chart, because it's about physical, practical, basic stuff that we all need to survive, and that, of course, in these times means money as well. So don't overstretch yourself in your efforts to strive to get things how you want them to be, in that sort of sense, and possessions or any other bit of territory may need a motivated and decisive approach. If you've been waiting around, maybe the Mars energy is going to help you not to be so passive, but to say, actually, enough of this. I'm going and I'm going to bang on somebody's door and say, look, when are you going to sort this out, whatever the thing is. Or it might not be like that at all, but there's an example. And also, this area here is about how you can best use your natural talents, Libra, to put them out there in a way which is going to be more perhaps satisfying for you, but also more lucrative. From the 23rd, the way should be clearer for you to pursue what's important to you personally, because that's when the sun moves into your sign, Libra. And that is it for September. If you go to my website, if you're not there already, you'll see what the slow moving outer planets are doing, along with Saturn and Pluto and Uranus, all of which are really influencing your sign quite strongly at the moment. Also, listen to the forecast for your rising sign or your moon sign, although don't pay so much attention to any dates I might mention, because the dates are only really working for the sun sign. But the rest of it you should be learning how the rest of it fits for you. Anyway, I hope it helps, and I'll see you the next time.